Welcome to the Anything Goes podcast. I am your host, Kombat AllStar. Today we're going to be talking about Injustice 2. Yes, I already did an atomic cast about it, but we're going to be talking about the gameplay. There's been a lot of news that has surfaced really recently, so I figured I'd just drop this very special edition of the Anything Goes podcast. I almost forgot what the show was called. So I'm going to be talking about what they were talking about. Two things that Geoff Johns and Ed Boon's kind of released, talking with Rolling Stone, and there's a few other articles that I actually have posted in the link below that are talking about just the story and the gameplay mechanics. So the two things I'm going to talk about is the gear system and then the story mode. So really quickly, the story, I'm going to read you a article here that is from WB Interactive. I'm going to post a link below, like I said. And it says, Injustice 2 continues the epic cinematic story introduced by Injustice God Among Us, as Batman and his allies work towards putting the pieces of society back together while struggling against those who want to restore Superman's regime. In the midst of the chaos, a new threat appears that will put Earth's existence at risk. So just that, those couple of sentences, you already get a real gist of what's going on in the game. So it's cool that it's really a sequel or not. I was always curious about how they were going to do a sequel to this game, because obviously they can't be fighting forever. Eventually there has to be a winner. And I know I was collecting the comics up until the game came out, and I wasn't quite sure how they were going to continue the series. So I haven't been reading after the game came out. I only read all the comics up to... Well, actually, no. I read all the comics up to the game, and then after that I played the game and got the rest of the story. But I didn't read the comics after the game. And apparently it's still continuing, and it is doing really well. So hats off to those guys. I'm more interested in the game itself rather than other mediums in the comics and everything. But it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, these guys are great. We all know that NetherRealm Studios are great storytellers. They do a great job with Mortal Kombat X. They do a great job with any game that they work on. Shaolin Monks, Mortal Kombat, now Injustice. So, I mean, they have a proven track record of telling good stories. And I'm pretty sure that Geoff Johns doesn't have anything to do with this, but he has been talking about a lot of things, Injustice-wise, recently. He has a lot of hats right now. He's in charge of, the DC Cinematic Universe, putting that stuff together. He's also kicking off Rebirth and doing this, so I'd hate to be that guy. Anyway, as far as the gear system goes, it's gonna be... It's a little weird. I'll read one of the statements, okay? And then I'll kind of give you my thoughts on it. So, Geoff Johns says, every character, and this is from Rolling Stones, again, the link is below, every character in Injustice 2 will have a vast array of what we're calling gear. Costume pieces and equipment that are used to upgrade your abilities and that's actually according to Boon, that's not part of the quote. They also go on to say, there are thousands and thousands of pieces. Let's say Flash, he says, you're in a constant process of making your version of the Flash. So they go on to, I'm not going to continue to read quotes, but they go on to say that, if you want a character to have more speed, you get some pants that give you more speed. A lot like DC Universe Online, actually. So you can choose like more health over more speed over more strength. So you're kind of building your character as you play the game. So that whole tagline, every battle defines you, they're serious about it. So every time you win a battle, depending on what type of battle it is, you get some sort of gear, and then you can choose to not wear that gear, maybe sell it. I don't know, they haven't talked about that. They said it was kind of like Destiny, so I'm assuming that you could sell it for other gear or other types of gear for characters that you play with. But again, you're building your character. It's not a typical fighting game where you actually go in, you fight as that character, you get good with them, you learn the moves, you learn how to string different things together, juggle, and you can go in and you can just be an awesome player. Every single player is going to be playing differently. Every single character is going to play differently. So I know me, I like rushing down, like running in, kicking butt. I don't really like blocking. I mean, I'm a straightforward kind of guy. So maybe if I play as that type of character or that type of fighter, then I can go in there with, max health, max out his strength, stuff like that. And which is really cool. I do like this idea. I think it's awesome. But my only kind of concern, I'm sure everybody's concern, is tournaments. I mean, they worked really hard to get Mortal Kombat X and Injustice tournament ready. Because we all know Mortal Kombat had a big issue about being a tournament game. It wasn't balanced enough. And they finally got to making a tournament game with Mortal Kombat 9. So Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X, all the games that followed after, all tournament ready. Now, there's going to be a huge balancing problem if I'm going in there fighting, say I'm the Flash and I got really maxed out speed, so I'm the fastest Flash you can find maybe, and I'm fighting a Gorilla Grodd who just has health for days. How am I going to beat this guy? I may be faster than him, but it might take me all day. It might take him a couple hits to get me. It's gonna run into a lot of issues as far as balancing goes. So I do like the idea in a sense that every character will be a different character. And they're saying there are thousands of characters, thousands of gear pieces per character. So you're literally gonna get, I don't know how many combinations that makes out to, but hundreds of thousands of different types of Flashes and Aquamans and Wonder Womans and whoever else they're going to be announcing and putting in the game. So yeah, like I said, on one hand it's good for the casual players, on the other hand it's bad for the tournament players. But I kind of wanted to just talk about it briefly, put this out there. Like I said, this isn't the typical podcast that I do. The usual podcasts are my thoughts and ideas, and it's a little longer. But I did want to touch on this, talk about it, and put this up for you guys today so we can weigh on it and have a conversation about it. As always, I say like, subscribe, share, tell everybody, conversate about this, and until next time, so long.